truck passing on your left.
We're with American Special Forces who are carrying out a routine patrol of an area which not so long ago was taken over by ISIS.
One finger? That means ISIS.
It's now been over a year since the group lost all of its territorial control, but they still remain a threat, which is why they're carrying out patrols like this.
Motorcycle light trying to pass on your left. Light's still right behind us.
Last October, US President Donald Trump abruptly ordered the complete withdrawal of all American troops in eastern Syria. This was quickly reversed, and today, a few hundred US military personnel remain in the country, working alongside the Syrian Democratic Forces to protect key oil installations and continue the fight against ISIS.
At this base in Deir Resort, American troops train local SDF forces on a daily basis. Today they're focusing on the fundamentals of how to use a rifle, so they're doing some target training and then also being taught about how to specifically use these guns in battle.
This Special Forces operator, whose name is being withheld to protect his identity, is part of a 12-man team of elite soldiers.
His chest is going to be as close to the ground as possible, leaving as little gap as he can in between himself and the ground.
They were deployed to the region in January to train Kurdish counter-terrorism units like these and to hunt down ISIS sleeper cells, small groups of Islamic State loyalists who were hiding out in villages across the area.
هدفك بالنص على اليمين. تمام؟
موظف السلاح. نقف. جاهز؟ ارفع. ارمي.
ISIS doesn't hold any territory here now, so they're working in decentralized cells, but they still have that influence in these local villages around here. So we're working with these guys.
Aside from fighting the ideology on the ground, how else are you tackling ISIS?
We rely on these guys heavily for information on these ISIS sleeper cells in the area and these decentralized ISIS networks. So we collect that intelligence and then take that, process it, and then go do operations and clear these guys out of this area.
So the relationship is important not just for fighting, but in terms of intelligence gathering.
Correct, yeah.
مرة ثانية. رصاص بس.
Syria is probably one of the more complex areas of operation that we have now. We have so many different players in this area. You have the Russians, the Iranians, pro-regime forces.
If there's any escalation between any of these sides, that's a win for ISIS.
Yeah, so ISIS will take advantage of any little thing they can.
The fight against ISIS has changed for you, hasn't it? Because previously you knew where they were, you could target them, but now they exist hiding in villages and cities across the region. So how are you targeting ISIS?
They're a lot more decentralized. They're in smaller cells, but it's all about the little victories. You know, maybe their intelligence brings in something, someone's phone or something, and then we can track those phone numbers that he's been in contact with to see those common phone numbers and maybe then target a more important cell leader.
Is ISIS an international threat?
I would definitely say they are still an international threat, but I think if we leave this area, I think we're leaving our partner force in a very precarious situation, and we're leaving the entire Middle East in a situation where there could be a reinsertion of ISIS or something similar to ISIS. This is as important, if not more important, than the conventional battles that we had pushing ISIS out of this area. Enter. On.
All right, guys. We already started to fix some of the little things that you guys were messing up, but you guys are getting better.
Good job, guys.
Guys in? Guys in. How about push? Stop it! Yeah,